The terror of the 9/11 attacks on America brought with it a rise in patriotism that you could see across the country.
But as we've moved through the 10 years since the attack, there is a growing question: what's happened to that patriotic spirit? On special assignment, Mark Leland takes a look at patriotism then and now.
When the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center came crashing down on 9/11, terrorists killed thousands, but they could not destroy the American spirit. In the midst of the destruction, those on the scene or who watched from afar will tell you our country's patriotic pride was elevated.
It was really sort of a coming together of people helping each other, supporting each other throughout the country. And that's what I see as the important part of patriotism.
Rose and Randy Scannell's son, Ben Enninger, was a computer specialist with the Marines at the time of 9/11. But after the attack, he stepped up efforts to join the initial invasion of Iraq that followed in search of weapons of mass destruction. Rose says her son was the definition of patriotism, love for or devotion to one's country.
He wanted to be part of something bigger than him, and he wanted to do his best.
And he wasn't alone.
Recruiting definitely had a spike right after 9/11. It was a tragic event, and America overall is very patriotic.
Sergeant First Class Richard Falconberry had been an Army recruiter for 2 years on September 11th, 2001.
There's no way that terrorists are going to come to the United States, attack us on our land, and expect us not to retaliate. It's just not going to happen. That's, you know, the way, it's the American way.
For others, the American way was shown by displaying the stars and stripes. Angie Nelson sells American flags for Fly Me flags in Green Bay.
Oh, we had a line wrapped around the building and outside into the street. It was just crazy.
Nelson says the surge in patriotism drove up sales. That red, white, and blue symbol of patriotism is what clinical psychologist Tara Robertson says people struggling with 9/11 could wrap themselves around.
I think people really had to band together just for survival during 9/11, and it really brought the country together, I think.
But Robertson says as the fear faded away and time passed, so understandably did the patriotic display that brought people together.
But it's very common for those feelings to subside after a period of time and healing that takes place, and I think that's a lot of what we've seen over the past 10 years.
Nelson continues to sell flags, but these days flags representing the Brewers and the Packers are the top sellers. The struggling economy has even overtaken patriotic pride for some.
As you see a lot of empty flagpoles out there, and it's kind of a sad situation, you know. And they said, no, we kind of took it out of our budget. We can't afford a flag this year.
Down. Up.
Military recruiting has fallen off a bit in 10 years, but patriotism among those enlisting today remains strong.
Huge, huge. It's part of the reason why I want to be a law enforcement officer, and I think that, you know, I can do my country well by being in the Army.
But recruits like Kevin Stringer can also make $51,000 for a 3-year commitment. That kind of money comes at a time when the national unemployment rate hovers above 9%.
It is patriotism, but a lot of it is, you know, they're looking for full-time employment. They're looking for money for college.
As for Rose and Randy Scannell, they continue to see the true effects of patriotism in others.
We see complete strangers want to help us out, and it's been so very helpful for us.
You see, the 9/11 attacks brought on the war on terror, which claimed their son's life in 2004. For some, the patriotic feeling never goes away.
You just keep going day to day, though. I mean, we have to. The hope is that we're making a better world. That's what we always have to feel like. That's what we're working toward.
Psychologists say leading up to the anniversary of 9/11, with all the attention paid to it, it's natural for Americans to feel more patriotic. And it's likely that swell in pride will be revisited year after year at this time. In Green Bay, Mark Leland, Fox 11 News.